If you've ever stared at your bank account and thought, how am I supposed to save anything when everything's getting more expensive? Trust me, I've been there too. There was a time not long ago when $20 felt like a lifeline. Gas prices were climbing. Rent went up. Groceries? Forget it. Even eggs were a luxury. I was making less than $40,000 a year, and every dollar felt like it was already spoken for. But here's the part that still surprises me. I saved $15,000. No second job. No magic inheritance. No skipping meals or living off noodles. And I'm not saying that to flex. I'm saying it because I want you to know it's possible. Even now, even during inflation, the way I did it wasn't normal. In fact, it started with a $27 mistake that opened my eyes. And that's where this begins. Saving feels impossible when everything costs more. But it's not just about income anymore. Let's be real. Saving money right now feels like trying to hold water in your hands. Prices keep going up. Rent, phone bills, almost everything costs more than it did last year. Maybe you've noticed it too. Your paycheck doesn't stretch like it used to. You budget, you try to cut back, but somehow you're still behind. And if you're like me, people love to give advice like, just get a better job, or you should be investing. But what if you're already working as much as you can? What if you don't have the time, energy, or access to jump into a new career or side hustle? Here's what no one tells you. Saving isn't just about income anymore. It's about attention, behavior, and small choices that build up or break down over time. And honestly, that realization changed everything for me, because the truth is you might already have enough money to start saving. It's just leaking out in places you don't see yet. I'm going to show you where mine was leaking, how I plugged it, and the strange habits that helped me stack $15,000 without making more. It's not a trick. It's just a new way of thinking. It was a Friday night. I was exhausted, frustrated, and hungry. You've probably had those days, the kind where nothing goes right, and all you want is a quick win. So I ordered takeout. Just one meal. Total, $27. At the time, it didn't feel like a big deal. I deserve this, I told myself. But the next morning, I looked at my bank account, and reality hit. That $27 wasn't just about food. It was about stress, emotions, and the feeling of being in control or not. You've probably been there too, where spending feels like self-care until it doesn't. That one order made me pause. Not because of the money, but because of the pattern. I wasn't spending to enjoy life. I was spending to cope. And that's when it clicked. It wasn't my income that was holding me back. It was the why behind my choices. The leaks weren't in my budget. They were in my habits. So I made a promise to myself. No more autopilot spending. I was going to build a new system. One based on attention, not restriction. That was the moment everything changed for me. And it can change for you too. Let's clear something up. I didn't save $15,000 by working 3 jobs, skipping every meal, or living in the dark to lower my electric bill. I did it by changing how I used the money I already had. And I believe you can do the same. Here's how I broke it down into 3 simple strategies. 1. The energy leak audit. This is where I started. I realized I was wasting money not because I was lazy or careless, but because I was tired. Every time you scroll on a delivery app, react to 50 emails, or keep 10 tabs open in your brain, you lose focus. And when you're mentally drained, you spend more. So I deleted the food delivery apps, unsubscribed from promo emails, and limited decision fatigue. That gave me the clarity to stop emotional spending before it started. Audit where your time and attention go for 1 week. You'll be shocked at how it affects your wallet. 2. The visibility budget. Forget spreadsheets. They didn't work for me, and maybe not for you either. Instead, I used a dry erase board on my wall, color-coded. Every time I saved $100, I filled in a square. It became a game. It felt good. You know what happens when you can see your progress? You want to keep going. If budgeting feels like punishment, flip it. Make it visible. Make it feel like winning. 3. The lifestyle anchor. This was my secret weapon. I picked one thing I refused to cut. My $40 per month gym pass. It made me feel strong and in control. That one non-negotiable made the rest of my cutbacks feel less like sacrifice and more like strategy. Find your anchor. It could be coffee with a friend, a streaming service, or a fitness class. Protect it, then trim around it. 4. Reverse budgeting. Pay yourself first. You know what finally made saving easier? I stopped saving last and started saving first. I call it reverse budgeting. Instead of waiting to see what's left over at the end of the month, I flipped it. Every payday, I moved $25 or $50 straight into savings before I did anything else. I treated it like a bill, a non-negotiable, something future me would thank me for. If you wait until the end of the month to save, chances are there's nothing left. But when you save first, even just a little, you'll be surprised how quickly it grows. And the best part? You don't even miss it. Set it up to happen automatically, out of sight, out of mind, and into your future. You don't need more money to save more money. You need a system that protects your energy, tracks your wins, and keeps one joyful thing in place. That's how I did it. And honestly, that's how you can too. There was one month that nearly broke me. Rent had just gone up. My car needed repairs I couldn't put off. And to top it off, I got hit with a medical bill I wasn't expecting. You know those moments where everything happens all at once? Yeah, that month. I remember standing in line at the pharmacy, staring at my debit card, hoping it wouldn't decline. I felt defeated. I thought, what's the point of trying so hard to save when life keeps knocking me back? That night, I sat on my floor, no TV, no music, just silence. I pulled out my savings board and looked at it. I had $6,300 saved, even after all the setbacks. And in that moment, I realized something I want you to feel, too, that money wasn't just numbers. It was proof that I could change, that I wasn't powerless anymore. I almost transferred money from my savings just to feel safe again. But then I realized my savings was why I felt safe. That number on the board wasn't just cash. It was security. It was progress. And I'd fought too hard to give that up. However, I didn't give up. And I don't want you to either, even when it feels like it's not working. Because one step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. Here are weird things that help me save more than a budget ever did. Budgets are great, but let's be honest, sticking to them is hard. That's why I started doing things that didn't feel like budgeting, but worked way better. It helped me save money without feeling like I was trapped. 1. I made a no-spend playlist. Whenever I felt the itch to shop online or grab unnecessary takeout, I'd hit play. These songs reminded me of my goals and distracted me just long enough for the impulse to pass. Try it. Let your favorite hype songs keep you on track. 2. I told my friends I was on a mission, not broke. Words matter. Saying, I'm broke felt shameful. But telling people I'm focused on saving $15,000 made them respect it and even cheer me on. Shift your language. People mirror your energy. 3. I used the first use delay rule. Every time I bought something new like clothes, gadgets, I waited 3 days before using it. Most of the time, I returned it. Impulse fades. Delaying gives you time to rethink. 4. I scheduled financial worry time. Instead of stressing 24/7, I gave myself 15 minutes every Friday to look at my bank account and make a plan. That little boundary gave me peace the rest of the week. 5. I switched to 5-ingredient meals. Grocery bills dropped fast. Meals got simpler. Less waste, less stress. Saving money doesn't mean eating poorly. It means eating smarter. 6. I named my savings account something emotional. This sounds silly, but it changed everything. I renamed my savings account. I stopped calling it savings and started calling it my freedom fund. Suddenly, transferring money wasn't just a boring task. It felt exciting. Every deposit felt like I was buying myself more peace, more options, more me time. So, if you're serious about saving, try this. Give your savings account a name that makes you feel something. Debt-free dreams, new apartment fund, freedom jar, whatever reminds you why you're doing this. It's not about being rich. It's about peace. When you've spent years feeling like you're one emergency away from disaster, having $15,000 saved isn't just security. It's power. It's waking up without panic. It's knowing you can handle what life throws at you. I still live simply. I still budget. But now, I move through the world with a kind of quiet confidence I never had before. And I want that for you, not someday, but starting today. Because once you feel the safety of savings, you never want to go back. You don't need to land a 6-figure job or hustle 24/7 to get ahead. You just need a starting point, something small, something doable. Momentum starts with one good choice, then another, and another, until suddenly, you've changed your whole future. I saved $15,000 on a low income during one of the hardest financial times in recent history. Not because I'm special, but because I started. And you can too. Comment, I'm starting today if you're ready to take back control. Subscribe for more real money strategies that actually work and like if this gave you hope. Now, if you want to learn how to achieve financial success,